Dear colleagues, we go on with our working day, and we now have on Skype Deputy Head of the Luhansk Regional State Civil Military Administration, Olga Lishyk, will talk on the education and other social stuff in frontline regions. If you allow me, I'll start with the second issue, the state of the educational establishment of Luhansk region at the confrontation line. As of today, in Novoydar, Luhansk, and Popasna districts, several hundred schools with 3.5 thousand pupils are working, and several kindergartens with 1,500 kids. 8 educational establishments are under capital repairs, and simultaneously kids study and the repairs are going on. They study according to the state-approved programs. The material is given to them in full scope. Some children are learning at a distance because one of the schools is almost ruined. So when the weather is fine, they go to school. If the weather is bad, then they stay at home. We still have to do a lot of work to prepare our educational establishments for the winter period. We are buying coal. We are conducting auction tenders to buy gas heating equipment. We're now paying and we're now emphasizing re-equipping those educational establishments where they have gas boilers for alternative equipment, and we are doing this not only on the demarcation line but also in the districts and cities which are in a relatively calm environment. Today we have the General Council of Germany visiting Severodonetsk for the week of energy efficiency. We're showing them what we have already achieved, energy-saving batteries and sun batteries and pumps, and we are drawing and implementing projects to save energy. I think that this is the future for Ukraine and our energy independence. As far as the school program and education of kids in preschool establishments is concerned, statistically we have lost a lot of children who have moved to different territories, including Ukrainian territory or other countries' territory. In Popasna district, for instance, half of the children remain as compared to the quantity to the number that we had before the before the combat action. But at the moment it's calm there and people start to come back and we accept children to school. However, we also restore residential blocks and residential houses, and when the flats are restored, I hope that people will be coming back in bigger numbers. Also, many teachers have left, and proportionally we still have enough teachers for our children, but we still would want teachers to come, especially young teachers, when they leave graduate from educational establishments, for instance. We want them to come to Luhansk region and implement state programs, including patriotic upbringing. We would really like to have young teachers. As far as separatism is concerned, this is an extremely important situation in Luhansk region, especially in educational establishments. As of today, we are in cooperation with law enforcement bodies because the Department of Education and Science does not have an influence to dismiss directors or headmasters or teachers who are involved in separatism. That's why we provide law enforcers with facts, and we already have precedents of dismissing 3 headmasters in Stanitsa Luhanska who took part in the so-called referendum, and we are now looking for people who could head the educational establishments in Stanitsa Luhanska district. There's a lot of events of patriotic contents, so-called lessons of courage. We invite there our fighters who were on the front line, who were demobbed from Luhansk region, the guys who were in the front line. Sorry, I can't translate anymore. We brought the films of the Babylon 13 studio, and we showed the kids the video that is aimed at patriotic education. We hear you badly, but still, could you go on? Okay, a special attention at the confrontation line is being paid to. I'm sorry, Olga, I'm sorry. The connection is really bad. We will try to connect with you once again.
Пані Ольго, як нас чути?
I can hear you well. Then let us continue. And this is a very important topic. We have a dangerous situation, lots of mines at the contact line. We are working with the Ministry of Emergency Situations and the group from Denmark who are demining. The specialists are organizing classes in schools, in the plants and companies, and they explain how to avoid mines and booby traps. Also, the Swiss Foundation on Demining is working. We lost the communication line. We'll try again.
Пані Ольга?
Продовжуємо, так?
Так, будь ласка.
Тобто ми
We cooperate with the international foundations on issues of demining and on organizing lessons in the educational establishments, and these are about preventing the accidents. We work a lot with international organizations. We have La Strada of Ukraine Foundation, where they also organize lessons with the psychologists for children. The situation that we have today requires a lot of attention of psychologists. The children who survived the warfare and the military actions, their psychic health is suffering, and we are working with different organizations, VKB, UN, VKB, and others, and they all now work with children. Also, we work with the Ministry on youth and sports on these issues. Also, We are actively cooperating with other organizations, and we are providing we are getting emergency assistance and just assistance. We cooperated with many international foundations. We had some food programs which continue, but they are not the programs which deliver the food packages, but they disseminate the vouchers. Also, we work with the charity corp. The vouchers worth 459 hryvnias are issued for 3 months, and people can buy fresh food products in supermarkets for this money. Also, another organization issues vouchers for 630 hryvnias, and these vouchers are disseminated among the IDPs who do not receive money yet because they are just being registered. It takes for about a month for people to get registered and get payment. We received a lot of assistance on restoring the infrastructure in the region from the International Red Cross Committee. Also, the representatives of Germany arrived and they examined the water, gas and electricity supply lines, electricity lines. This is very important for us because we don't have any reserve electricity lines in Luhansk region. We need to get restored very quickly before winter. I know that that was discussed during the Minsk agreements. We have also ADRA fund, which helps with food products, and they also issue vouchers that help to get accommodation. As to assistance in public health, the representatives of WHO are there, and they work all over the region, because we have these problems with IDPs everywhere in all the settlements where these people were accommodated. Also, we have UNFAO representatives who involve the IDPs who receive 20 chickens per farm, and they either raise the chicken or do what other just work in agricultural sector. Also, we hope that the business center will be open soon and additional investments will be attracted. Also, a lot of work is done for restoring the infrastructure, especially restoring the bridges which were destroyed. And today the UNDP and European Community allocated a lot of money to restore such bridges. The local municipalities had tenders for such works, and we hope that these works will start very soon. Also, we use grants to restore the roads. As to early restoration, the Swedish Foundation Mercy Course and also the Red Cross representatives, they provide assistance, they bring the construction materials, they send the construction materials for more than 200 houses. The elderly people cannot go up to the roof and fix the roof, so they're helping even physically to restore the buildings. Also, we would like to thank all the volunteers who sent materials and money. Zhytomyr helped us to restore the kindergarten in Popasna district. Cherkasy sent the construction material. Chernivtsi sent the construction materials. And they were arriving from Western Ukraine, and they were working in Lysychansk, restoring the roofs and the windows. Basically, we cooperate also with the organizations, the Agency of Sustainable Development, where 80% the project, the 80% of money is given by the project, 15% by local authorities, and 5% by community. These are very interesting projects talking about medicine and restoring different facilities for IDPs. The orphanage from Luhansk was evacuated in June 2014. This building of this orphanage has been restored, and children are now in very good conditions. Also, we have in Lysychansk the rehabilitation center for children, and we finished works in Krimina, and today the first 4 families are getting accommodation in this house, which was restored specially for IDPs. We openly cooperate with donors, and we hope that more assistance will be attracted to Lugansk region. We receive not just humanitarian aid, but we are involving people to be energy independent, to be progressive, so that Lugansk region is the best in Ukraine. We hope this will be the case. Thank you, Olga. Now the questions. Dear colleagues, if you have any questions, you're welcome.
And could you please introduce yourself? Good afternoon. Sergei Lishyk, Ukraine Crisis Media Center. My question is about the school and the educational process. Could you please tell us what's the rate of provision of textbooks? Are there any problems with teaching plans? Maybe they have been changed, and the proportion of Russian and Ukrainian language schools. Well, the textbooks, the situation is okay in Luhansk region, except for the grades 4 and 7. At the moment, we're working with the textbooks that we have. We expect the final instruction where to buy them. We have already channeled money to buy these textbooks, and I would say that the situation with textbooks is normal. I would like also to thank all the regions of Ukraine who answered our request for help. And about some stationery for schools, we have got almost 10 tons of textbooks and different stationery goods collected by pupils and teachers elsewhere. And well, about the teaching plans, yes, we are working along the plans that are recommended to us, but we still strengthen the role of patriotic education of our children. And as I have told you, we are inviting military people and also volunteers who tell the truth to our children. We also pay special attention to the lessons of history. As far as the proportion of Russian and Ukrainian language schools, I'll tell you that in Severodonetsk, Rubizhne and Lysychansk, the proportion is 60 to 40. All the rest of the districts are Ukrainian language districts. Daria Chernousova, again, several questions from the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. Could you please tell us about the kids with impaired capacities, and also a question about scholarships. Do they pay scholarships, or maybe there are problems with this? And also maybe some grants that provide for the studies abroad. We work along the lines of inclusive teaching. We continue to send teachers to work with kids at home. Also, we have internet and we have some distance learning, but really we have lost our rehabilitation centers that help those kids to restore their capacities. We have several specialized boarding schools for visually impaired and hearing impaired kids. In Svatove, there's a boarding school with for children with a Down syndrome, with cerebral paralysis. Well, parents bring kids to these institutions, and we teach them according to specialized programs. In the city of Rubizhne, we have a very good boarding school for visually impaired children, and they have, it specializes in kids who are visually impaired not from their birth. As far as those children who cannot leave their homes, we are still teaching them inclusively. All the children get their scholarships on time. We don't have any delays with salaries, and everything is within the norms of the current legislation. Another question from the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. Yesterday, on the official site of the Luhansk state administration in Severodonetsk, a Euro Club, The Way to the Dream, was opened. Could you please tell us, as you took part in this, what is the essence of this club? Do you plan to open such clubs in other cities? Well, this is not a new program. We have started to restore our communication with colleagues, and yesterday this was a communication with vocational schools in Lviv. The headmaster of this institution suggested to do this. We conducted a Skype conference, and we even virtually shook hands. We drank some Lviv coffee over Skype, and our aim is to give the opportunity to our kids to talk to their coevals, and also to those kids who learn the same professions as they do. And we also plan to exchange students. Our kids want to go there, and maybe they will go to us, come to us. And we also plan to conduct such conferences with other regions, Vinnytsia, Poltava. We have signed a memorandum on cooperation, cultural, educational, sports activities, and other. And higher educational establishments also work with their colleagues. We exchange experience as far as trips on grant are concerned. We are now planning a trip across Europe, thanks to the support from a MP. Kids will go to Euro Parliament. They will also visit Disneyland, and some of our kids are also already coming back from Poland. They are very active, and they do come. They do go across Europe, and they talk to other people there, and every kid has a chance to be a personality, and the teachers support them. Thank you, Olga. We will finish for now, and we hope to hear from you next week, and we do hope that the connection will be better.